Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you how to make a cute little duck in Blender. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial so you don't have to have any prior experience with the software. So let's go ahead and get started. Use the default cube, Ctrl-2 to add subdivision. In the modifier property, apply the modifier. Press Tab to go to Edit Mode 1 for vertices selection. Select half of the vertices, then press X to delete. Add Mirror modifier, change the axis to Y and select Clipping. Turn on the moving arrow to easily move the object around. At the top, turn on proportional editing feature or pressing O on the keyboard. Use the vertices to change the shape of the object. Since I want the duck to have chubby cheeks, I'm aiming for this shape. Once you are happy with the result, right-click to shade smooth. Also, don't forget the side face. To make the body of the duck, Shift A to add another cube, Ctrl-2 to add subdivision, S to scale down and SZ to scale the Z-axis. Redo all the steps that we did for the head, but this time for the front body. You can think of the shape of an egg, and the side body will look like a little bean. For the duck wings, Shift A to add a cube, S to scale down and move it to one side. X to scale the x-axis. Ctrl Q to add subdivision modifier. Go to Edit Mode, select the top face. Press E to extrude up and X to scale down. Go to the front view, change the shape accordingly. Once done, press R to rotate and slide in next to the body. Add the mirror modifier, select the body as the mirror object and change the axis to Y. To model the leg, Shift A to add another cube. Scale down the Z-axis, then Ctrl Q to add subdivision modifier. Press / on your keyboard to enter the isolation view. From the top, select the frontal face, E to extrude, then with the proportional editing feature turned on, scale in the Y-axis. From the side view, select the middle edge, then scale up to make the object look more interesting. Once done, place the leg under the body. Slide over to one side and add a mirror modifier. Similar to the last time, select the body as the mirror object and change the axis to Y. Rotate the object around to make sure everything looks good and make any adjustment if needed. Let's move on to the face. To make the eyes, first add a circle. Then change the vertices to 8 and fill tab to angle. Press RY90 to rotate 90 degrees in the Y-axis. Move it toward the front. Go to Edit Mode, E to extrude, I to intrude, then use the X arrow to bring it out. Ctrl Q to add subdivision, then right-click to shade smooth. Go to the top, turn on the snapping tool. Select Snap to Face and under Target Selection, select Align Rotation to Target and project individual elements. Add the mirror modifier and select the face as the mirror object. Shift D to duplicate and make the cheek blush. But remember to right-click and set origin to geometry, so these elements will snap right on top of the face. Shift A to add another cube, add Z to scale the Z-axis. Ctrl 2 to add subdivision modifier. Make it smaller, then go to the side view. Use R to rotate a little bit, then bring it in between the eyes. Shift D to duplicate and move the new object right under the current one. Then change the rotation. Now we finished making the duck beak. Remember to right-click and shade smooth. To make the head, select the face, press Tab to go to Edit Mode, then select the following area, Shift D to duplicate and P to separate selection. Alternate left-click to select the end loop, add Z0 to straighten, apply the mirror modifier, then Ctrl A to apply scale. Press E to extrude and S to scale. Extrude again, then bring it down. For these two rows of edges, alternatively select the vertices like this. Then use the arrow to bring them down and create the wavy head look. Select all two rows and bring them up so they don't hide the face of our little duck. Add some thickness to the head with the solidifier modifier and remember to select even thickness. Make any adjustment if needed. Let's make the string for the head. Select the face, go to Edit Mode, select the vertices along the side. Then Shift D to duplicate and P to separate selection. Apply mirror modifier and remove the subdivision modifier. Adjust the string position so it is easily visible. Right-click and convert the object to curve. In the curve properties, under geometry, set resolution to 2 and increase the depth to around 0.04. Convert the object back to mesh, then press Ctrl 2 to add subdivision, and right-click to shade smooth. To make the crossbody flap back, Shift A to add another cube, scale down and scale the Y-axis. Ctrl 2 to add subdivision modifier, then Ctrl A to apply scale. Ctrl R to add a vertical loop cut, then Ctrl B to bevel it out. Continue to add a loop cut horizontally and another one on the side. Press 1 for vertices selection. Select the following vertices, then press V on your keyboard to rip or separate these vertices. Now we have the body and the flap part separately. Select the end of the flap, then use E to extrude to increase the length. Use the vertices to shape the back however you like. Add some thickness using the solidifier modifier. Turn on even thickness. I will set the offset to 0 and the thickness value to 0.06. To make the strap, select the dog body, go to Edit Mode, then select the loop cut around the waist. Shift D to duplicate and P to separate selection. Apply the mirror modifier, then set origin to geometry and use R to rotate. Delete one vertex near the back to make the strap. Turn on proportional editing and slowly move the vertices so that it crosses over the body of the duck. Remove subdivision modifier, then right-click and convert the object to curve. In the curve properties, increase the depth and adjust the shape if needed. Once done, convert it back to mesh and right-click to shade smooth. Let's move on to materials. On the top right hand corner, select viewport shading. This is where we can see how the final render will look like. Now go to Render Properties, change the render engine to Cycles and device to GPU Compute. Under Color Management, set the look to High Contrast. Select the object that we want to add material, then go to Material Properties. You can start with the default material or remove it and add a new one. Select the area next to the base color and start choosing the color that you like. If you want to add the same material to multiple objects, then select all of them with the object that already has the material being selected last, then Ctrl L and select Link Material. Let's continue adding materials to the rest of the model. Shift S and bring the cursor toward origin, then Shift A to add a blend. Scale out to create the background for our model. We will set up a simple 3-point lighting, which basically we will have 2 lines at the front, one on each side and another rim line at the back of the object. In the lighting properties, you can adjust some of the settings like color, power, and radius or size of the light. There is no one exact formula for lighting, so I recommend to experiment with it yourself to find something that works for you. For the render, I want a frontal shot of the little duck, so I'll set the camera at the front, which you can do by changing the rotation value of the camera. In the output properties, I will change the resolution to a square frame and under camera setting, change the type to orthographic. Now let's add color to the background and make some final changes if you want to. Once everything looks good, go to Render and select Render Image, or hit F12 on your keyboard to start rendering. So that's how we finished making the little cute duck in Blender. You can add some variation of the model too. Here I added a smaller one holding a little flower, which I find is cute. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial video. As usual, if you make this model and share it on social media, please tag me as I would like to see it. Thank you for your continuous support and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!